All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house, and welcome back to the channel. Look at this. I got something interesting from Finland. I got the Hog House knives. That's the Model T. It's written somewhere. I don't know. Anyways, it's inside right over here. Look at this. Comes with the white cover for this box, which is wood, and it's nice. Milled, you see, it just holds the knife pretty nicely. And on the back, look at this, you have the certificate of authenticity, which just states all the materials and everything that goes with this fella right over here. Nice and clean lines for sure. Let's check the size immediately. We got what is this, 8.7 centimeter, 9 centimeter, let's say. I'm good today. For the cutting edge and 11 for the handle. Overall, this bad boy is like 19.5 centimeters right there. So let me check right away this stock thickness, because yeah, this is like 3.72 millimeters thick and 0.45 behind the edge. So it just seems like a very thick stock, but just because there's no jimping. I'm going to do a quick size comparison. Right over here, you get to see small Sebenza 21 and large 21 right over here, right in the middle of these two bad boys. Another couple of carbon fiber inlays, because yeah, like that. That's the Shiro Neon NL, and this is the F95 NL, so this big boy. Pretty much we are in the same realm of the Neon. Very, very good. As you can see, handle to blade ratio, it's fantastic. This thing is packing a lot of blade into this small handle. Just another couple of titanium frame lock, because we're talking about titanium frame lock. So I got Duke from Cody Dutzler, and I got the Mini Chaos right over here from Walter Randolph, that you see what is going on. And actually, I said that's it, but I got these two Sienkiewicz ones. I got a Cardinal and a Mini Cannabis, a fancy Mini Cannabis. That's actually the Ace of Spades. Just to check out this bad boy, like to see like a full-size knife, big knife, and just another very, very interesting one, especially for the size. And honestly, you don't see that too often. But anyways, we're here with this fella, which is a very interesting one. I really love the lines. They caught me right away. So very gentle. I love when this line over here is continuous. It's just one piece. I like that. Very sinuous over here. You get a little bit of a finger guard right there, low profile flipper tab sticking out a little bit here. And I mean, the handle has some micro milling, as you can see, as a captive pivot, because it's not circular, just a little bit of an oval. You get these Phillips screws right over here, which I'm not super fan of. I mean, I would have preferred some Torx, but still, they are there. You get some 3D contoured like machining for the scales, which are pretty good. It feels pretty good in the hand. You have some chamfering around the edges, and you have some chamfering on the inside. There is no internal skeletonization, as you can see. You can only see the serial number 102 right over there on the inside, and there is nothing else on the inside. As well, this fella doesn't feature a stainless steel lock face insert, just a carbidized lock face. You get Model T, subtle written on the lock bar. A little bit of the cutout is done in a Lee Williams fashion, or for example, Walter Randolph fashion. You know, it's something pretty interesting. It's not like the classic, let me see, like this fella, you know, classic cutout that you are used to. It's, you know, it's there's a nice decoration with these slots. I appreciate that. Also, I appreciate that the pocket clip, it just flows with the lines underneath, so it follows the micro milling. It's a little bit probably too long for the proportions of the knife, but works well. It's a little bit higher up there, a little bit steep when you go out, but yeah, just probably a little bit too long, but it flows with the lines. It makes sense. Just maybe a little bit shorter would be making even more sense. So If you notice, just resting on the frame, not on the lock bar, which is good. You got another like slotted flathead screwdriver access for the pivot, which is okay. Not ideal, but still, I always prefer Torx, but in this case, that's what's here. So let's roll with this. So, I mean, the handle is nicely done. I like this area over here, which allows like for the flipper tab, you see, and your finger just to go when you flip it. So it's nice. And this goes here. You notice that there's lack of jimping, which I would have loved jimping because this is kind of slippery. And also the handle there's not much texture. So a little bit of jimping would have helped, I think. There is no lock stick, so the lock face has been carbidized nicely. Lock up is a little bit early, but no issues whatsoever. You see, geometry is pretty good there. The handle is a little bit thin for my hands. It doesn't give me like a perfect grip. It just like tapers down a little bit too much. I would like a little bit more beefy handle, but I mean, it's a pretty elegant knife, guys. Nothing wrong with that. The pocket clip has a hidden hardware right over here. You can see there's two screws holding this fella in place. It's not reversible. You cannot mount it on this side. These two screws are screwed in right into the backspacer, which at the end over here, see, goes a little bit inside. It's pretty flush, and boom, right over there to safely protect the tip of the blade. You can't snag it. It's not dangerous at all. So it's nice and centered. So it works very well. You get this RWL 34 steel blade, and you can see, look at this. Look at this. The milling on the primary bevel. You have a nice dual tone finish on these flats. That's pretty good. Pretty short belly and long straight edge up to the flipper tab. You notice that it's very good, very well ground, but there's no sharpening joint. So when you sharpen this bad boy, you get a stop right there. So just keep that in mind. Also, lack of jimping here might result in like some slippery action, but if you just pay a little bit of attention and you apply the pressure in the right spot, you can of course, fail it. If you can fail pretty much any knife, but what I mean is that you apply the right lightning switch. If you push button, you're gonna fail it. If you do a light switch method, you're gonna be fine. So that probably is my main gripe on this knife. I mean, the flipper tab suggests that you're not gonna want to push this way, but just a little bit of jimping would have been more obvious to deploy this way, because with the push button, you definitely can fail. So that is also because the detent is light in this one. It's not like dangerous or anything, but it's a little bit mushy compared to my likings, and but there are some people that don't like a strong detent, so this is gonna be perfect for them. It's not overly light, so it's a little bit light. The sound also is very subdued, not obtrusive, not obnoxious. When you open it, is not loud when you close it. It's super quiet, really impressive. And also the feel in the hand is good. When this guy's closed, it's like dampened. There's like a nice feel to it. I would say my only nitpicks would be, you know, the slotted Phillips screwdriver screws, the detent, I would say, and the lack of jimping, because otherwise this fella, it's pretty nice. Let's see how much is gonna be waiting in your pocket. It's not too crazy. Even if there's no internal skeletonization, you're gonna be talking about 82 grams. I mean, that is very, very good. Yeah, it's nothing wrong to say with that. This is a $700, $800 knife, something in that range. So it's not a cheap one. It's an expensive one, of course, but it's made by these two guys, and it's a very unique and refreshing lines, design. I like the cleanliness of the show side. You got these two screws, of course, and on the back as well. I love the blade that it's sterile on both sides with a dual tone finish. I like it. Action also is very nice because the blade is a chunky one, so you get also some nice deployment, and the closing action, you don't have like a free fall guillotine effect, just a little nudges enough to get this guy closed. Also, another little detail that I love is when the maker is doing like this kind of thing. For example, something that I truly love in this one, right over here, doing that, following the contour in this area of the knife is something spectacular. Like you see also on this guy. I love that. It's just so nice, and that it just makes sense. And then when it's here, boom, it just ends like that. So a very cool design, very nice lines. I think this is a nice and elegant piece. It's not perfect, it's expensive, but you can have a lot of fun, and you can cut a lot of things, because even if the stock is thick, the edge is very cool and very thin. And this, I believe, is it's a flat grind one. So I mean, pretty cool. Also, the solution of the oval pivot, not so much about the Phillips screws, and it's, yeah, definitely an interesting one. Super clean. So there you have it. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.